Hello everybody, it's Suffolk Blue, all the way from merry old England. How the devil are you? I hope you are well. Welcome back, another Saturday, another Pillars of Eternity. If you remember last time, we created our dwarf Drummond, took him on an adventure with Aloth to go and defeat the bear, and we also found the missing cook of the tavern. Now I'm going to go and have a quick chat with the bloke up here to see whether he's got anything more to say to us. You never know, sometimes they can give you extra things. Let's go make sure he's alright. Ah, it's you, my saviour. He makes a sweeping gesture to indicate the kitchen around you. It's good, so good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe even. After this, you will eat nothing else. We've gained a recipe, savoury pie. A savoury pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. Lovely. So something extra. Now we've got 3 quests. We've got Kaskia's sister, who wants us to go and try and sort out a potion so that she gives birth to a healthy child. We've got to go and speak to a dead dwarf, which in any ordinary circumstances would sound strange, but this is Pillar of Eternity. It's perfectly normal. And then the other one after that is... Oh, Nonton. We've got to try and find Nonton. Now, I can't remember what he looks like. He had a red cape, is all I can remember. But we'll keep an eye out for him and see if we can find him. Now, as far as this dead dwarf is concerned, we may as well... I think that's probably the main storyline, so we could give that a go. Oh, I wonder if he knows more about... Because he sort of knew people that were dead there, didn't he? Remember this gentleman over here? Ida? The man smiles broadly. Welcome to our lovely village. No? Okay. Ah, look, look, look. She's glowing. She's glowing. That must be her. So I'm going to take just me. So this is Caldara de Baranzi. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bough that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh of her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. Ugh. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimension. Ooh, let's do it. Here we go. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with a new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with her eyes clouded in milky fog, her body still swaying in the wind with no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost? Ah, it is both, I think. Yes?
Okay, so am I imagining this? Well, I'm clearly not, because I've done this before. How are you able to speak to me? That's a good question. I need to understand something that's happened to me. That's a good question. I survived a beer wick. Do you know what that would be? I want to know something about you. Shall we see how she's able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
Okay, so I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
She nods.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, oh, not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Odra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either living or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their honor can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
Ah, so what did you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
She smiles at you reassuringly, fanning out a tuft of long whiskers that sprouts from one of her cheeks.
You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
So, okay, so I'm not imagining it, because we can don't ask that. I think I survived to Beorwick. Do you know why that would be? And I want to know, so let's find out what she knows about Beorwicks.
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
So you said souls break apart over time.
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
She clicks her tongue. So I want to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
So, who are you, or what's an animancer? Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
Well, we sort of know what happened to her. She's hanging from a tree, for heaven's sake. But let's have a see. What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid. It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Okay, so what happened to you? She laughs, a rasping, choked cackle escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to bob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer. Well, I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
Tell me.
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
So I had other questions?
Of course, dear.
No, I don't want to say that. I'm not imagining it, because we're not, so farewell.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldara closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of waiting. Ooh, Odlin was granted Crucible of the Soul. What on earth is Crucible of the Soul?
Oh?
Crucible of the Soul. Attacks Fortitude, extra 39. The Watcher unravels the vital essence of his or her enemies, gaining endurance in the process. So I unravel their fortitude, essentially, and gain some endurance myself. Ooh, that's quite a good spell. So that's good. So we learned a lot there. Ooh, I made that disappear. Why did I make that disappear? Oh, I see. Oh, clever. I learned a lot there about myself. So the next thing is we need to go to Caed Nua, which we don't know where that is. It's a fort, apparently. So let's not do that straight away, because I don't really know how we're going to do that yet, because I don't know where I'm going. So we'll leave that for a second. Let's go on to the next one, though, which is to try and confront Nonton and see what happened. Can't do anything there. There is something over here, though, so let's quickly run and grab whatever that is. We're still getting all these
Certainly.
Fungus and mushrooms and such like. Okay.
17 and a half.
What? Oh, he's now going to talk to me. Ada, the smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origin, where you find a broad man with straw-coloured hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but his look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
I'm sorry.
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Aloth frowns. Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman? He looks at you for a moment, his brow arched, his smirk broadens, because he was watching us.
Over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
I've been out with sorts lately. Do you know what a watcher? I wonder if he knows what a watcher is then.
Careful, friend.
Uh-oh.
Let's not use that word round here. There'd be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be.
Oh.
Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
None taken. Good. They don't mean it personal when they hang folks here. I have to remind myself.
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
Captain? The war? Oh, Saints War. Oh no, he's one of... please, is he going to hate me? Saints War, only one in my lifetime. Fellow decides he's living incarnation of Ilvas. Overthrows Red Karas. Marches on the Deerwood, so we give him a Deerwoodian hello. Indeed they did. Well, I shouldn't have to ask who that is, because I'm a priest of Ilva. That's silly.
We blew him up.
What did you blow him up for? He smiles at this, but the smile is one recounting a joke for effect rather than enjoyment. So who's Eothos then? God of rebirth and redemption, formally anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. So I have other questions. I don't know why I had to ask that. I'm a priest. I shouldn't need to have asked that. So why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Radric sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Radric's overthrow. Said if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. Oh my goodness. Had a Spartacus moment. He sighs and shakes his head. He fixes on the tree. Bound to happen sooner or later, if not for plotting against Radric, then for protecting me. So what did they have against you?
Picked the wrong god. That's what it comes down to.
Ah.
Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea.
Oh my goodness, so he's a follower of Aethys like me.
Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Deerwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, then I did too. But, he didn't make it back.
Oh.
After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me.
Ah, so he didn't believe that Wedman was the reincarnation of Aethys. Okay.
Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radric's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
Yeah. Aloth glances at you and lowers his voice. You can see why I was eager to leave. So who's Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. Okay. So he's just a townie. Okay, so if you're next to be hanged, why are you still here? He gives half a smile, drinking mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. I just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Weirdwin's legacy started with Weirdwin. Well, he can come with us. Where are you headed? Some place called Cadnoir. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger. And a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if ever I heard one.
Alright then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
He tilts his head towards you and gives you a pointed look. Let's get going. Excellent! My goodness, so now we're up to 4. Let's have a quick look at, how do you pronounce it? Ada? Eda? Let's have a little look. He's a fighter. He's got a defender. What sort of character is he then? He's a 3rd level fighter. Dyewood farmer. Accuracy. Constant recovery, knockdown. Oh, that's good. So we have another fighter amongst us.
Alright then.
Let's set off. So what were we doing? We still need to find Nonton, and I don't suppose we got any quests out of that. Oh, we did. Hold on. Fragments of a scattered faith. Ada has agreed to travel with me. He seemed to have some questions. We thought a watcher would be able to answer. I've got him to speak to Merwold. Okay, but we're not there yet, so he can just follow with us. Awesome. We need to inspect this town. We need to go to places. That's Afura's house. That's the sister, so we don't need to go there. That hasn't got anything up there. Let's come to this house. We may as well explore around and see if we can pick up some quests whilst we're here. So that we can go out and do them all at once. Is there any... Oh, there is a crate. Let's have a look at this crate. Beer and ale. Let's go in here. I love the fact you could just walk into people's houses. That nobody cares. You haven't got to knock first or anything. Nonton. I thought that red crate looks familiar. Let's have a chat with this man. Ingrode. This man and woman appear to have been deep in conversation, working at closing 2 bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices you approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little.
Hail, traveller.
Can we help you? She looks to her companion, brows furrowing with confusion. Do you know this man, Nonton? Nonton coughs. Yes, I think we met in the Valewood. I warned him about the bear. He inclines his head. Glad to see you made it. Was there something else you wanted? Now, so they're in collusion then. So did he kill that bloke so that he could get with his wife? So, seem to be in a hurry, or you two in a good spirits for people who just lost a friend? That's unkind of you to say. I'm grieving my husband in my fashion. I'm only sorry I could not convince him to leave Gilded Vale before this happened. I'm relieved to be rid of this terrible place, that's all. It's cost me a greater part of my life, and now my husband, and I'm glad to be free of it. So why in such a hurry? Yes, I imagine so. Ingrid laughs. We're packing for a trip, actually. I've been meaning to visit Defiance Bay, and... She looks at Nonton. Well, in truth, I think I've my fill of this town. Yeah. I know what happened in that bear cave, Nonton. The colour drains from Nonton's face. I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing him of something? Ingrid looks to Nonton, touching his arm. If this is about the accident, we're both grieving Pearlie's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing. Nonton shakes his head minutely. You see a tremble in his hands. What would make you suggest such a thing? So, I had a vision in the cave. I saw Pearlie's last moments as he lived them. I saw you cut him with a knife. I may as well tell him because I'm not going to go for that response. Well, I could just do that. Why did you do it? He was your friend. Let's see if we can convince him. Nonton hesitates, and then his expression darkens. My friend? He was a cruel enough man to his friends. You didn't know him. You wouldn't defend him if you did. His hand falls to his sword belt. Nonton, wait. Ingrid raises a hand. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but this isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, was as much a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. She looks away, expression pained. Nonton, we met, and I knew I'd found someone special, someone kind who cared for me. Please, all we want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. She looks down at the satchels. We've some coins saved up. You could have it, if only you let us go. So, I could take them to a magistrate. Now, I've got to be benevolent. I could do that one, keep the money and use it to start your new life. We've either got to forgive them, so we're the god of rebirth. I don't really know whether I want to whether justice comes into this, and I should take them to the magistrate, or I should send them on their way, keep the money and use it to start your new life. I'm going to do that one, I think, just because it is the most benevolent. Because if he was a real bastard, then, you know, he had it coming, didn't he, really? Especially if she was beaten. So keep the money and use it to start your new life. Ingrid blinked surprised. Then, thank you. Truly, I'm glad you understand. Only here, take this at least. I hope it brings you luck. She looks to Lawton, smiling. We have a long journey ahead of us. You have gained the item Minor Ring of Deflection. I wish you well in your own travel, stranger. We won't forget this. So there we go. We didn't have to be... We can still be benevolent and get good stuff. We got a ring. Let's have a look at it. So let's put that on my hand. It's going to do what for us? Oops, Minor Ring of Deflection. +5 deflection. Rings can feature on plain bands. Yep, so we've got that on. That'll help us hopefully stay alive. They're going to stay alive, which is good. We're going to take all the stuff from here. Oh, it's a crossbow. Some copper. It's a potion shelf. This bottle of Sunred is half empty. And? What's that got to do with anything? Okay, well we've done that quest then. See, you don't always have to have a big old fight, and actually they may come back in the future, you never know. Could be one of those quest lines where they see you again in Defiance Bay or somewhere and help you out if you help them. So we've done that one. Let's have a little look. Got a Mother's Plea, we've got the Old Watcher, and we've got the one for... Let's have a look at the map and see where else we haven't been then. What's that? A windmill? Let's go to the windmill. See where the farmers are in. Uh-oh. Locals? There be locals. Swinyer, we know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow your fat on your crops. A muffled shouting emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards comes through that door, gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swinyer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads. But we'll be back, Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame, we'll have a reckoning. Woo! So, we'll let them go. We could speak to them. Can we? I can't speak to them. I'm being zoned out. So they've gone. Shall we go and have a chat with the farmer and see what's going on? Is he being mean? I hope he doesn't shoot me. I forgot about that. The first one that comes through the door. Oh, here we go. An elderly man stands before you. His relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labour. His face is pale and drawn and his eyes wide. Behind him a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on. I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates, then lowers the club. Wait, I know you. You just came into town, right? Don't tell me. Swain has already got his claws into you. God, that's all I need. So, my name's Odlin, and I've only just arrived in Gilded Vale. What was that all about? I think I'd be nice just to introduce myself. Trumbull shakes his head. You picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale's had its shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now, and Swainyo thinks he's king of it. They're all of them are mad. So what was that all about? Trumbull shakes his head. Where to begin? Swen has whipped him up into a froth, going on about grain stores, claims I've hidden most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound, on the west side of town for ale, and Swenyo and his lot don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way into town. The crop's blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers. Trumbull gestures to the sacks and containers. It's gone off, rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely enough good grain to go around. Swin is howling after things he has no right to. Seems like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. If you don't want to lose those people in here with torches, maybe you ought to stop lying to me. That's interesting. Why do I think he's lying? That's interesting. Resolve 14. Is he lying? Trumbull blinks, taken aback. I'm not. Look, it's no lie. The stores really are low, and with no little grain going round, I had to raise prices for some people. There are folks in this town that deserve far better than Swinyer and his lot. People who have done more for Gilded Vale. People like the magistrate. Ah! I can't do anything about that, Trumbull says, his voice quiet. That's just how it works. Maybe some things are different elsewhere. Here, Radrick's men, they keep the village safe, so they eat well. Okay. Maybe I ought to have a talk with Swenyo. Swenyo's people are farmers. They gather that grain for you. So, I think I'm not going to have a chat with Sven, because Sven is obviously angry and he's giving extra to magistrates. So let's see if we can do that. They sure didn't mind losing that grain when it was going to the drinks at the inn. They don't make like kind neighbours when they insult my son, go stumbling drunk through their own crops. You think they're the only ones they need to eat? Now the crops are sick and the wind's too weak to get the mill turning. Our village children are born as empty shells. That's not my doing. The place is cursed, and Swinny and the others haven't done a thing to help the rest of us get through the lean season. So is your self-righteousness worth losing your family over? Or maybe I'll have a chat with Swenya. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore, and maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're having all the hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it, if you can convince him. Let's have a look. So that would be thieving. What's that say? Let's have a look. A rancid stench rises from the grain. It's mushy and mottled with green. Ugh. Carew, my father's a good man, always done right by the town. I'm sure my father can explain better. Okay, so let's go and have a chat with Svenja then and see if we can't calm him down, because clearly he's got himself into a right old state. I don't think he's lying, because we did that session, so clearly he is paying additional to the magistrates. So I don't get to think that he's lying. But let's go to the inn, because that's where they were heading, wasn't it? Let's get a double click over. That's quite handy that you can do that whole thing with a map and double click over. Oh, that's our resting bonus because we stayed in a nice room, didn't we? So hopefully we're running through town at the moment and heading this way over. What time is it? It's coming up to night time anyway, so we could rest before we go out the following day. Is that Svenja? Villager. Okay. Let's go in and see where he is. Well, I was betting we're going to have to fight them. I've got this feeling that we're going to have a big old scrap. Villager. Here he is, Svenja. Come on in, people. Let's have a chat with him.
Good day, stranger.
Svenja. Don't know who you are. I don't much care. Keep walking. We're not here to chat with foreigners. Nice. Alf narrows his eyes. Careful. Looks like they're cut from the same cloth as those rowdies who attacked me. He wrinkles his nose. It smells like it too. So, Trumbull says you've been threatening his family. I saw you outside the mill. What's that about? Let's ask that one. Well, someone fancies themselves a meddler, eh? What's that about? It's about Trumbull thinking he's king of the town on account of the fact that he's got a mill to his name. The dwarf jowls quiver with rage. It's about him barely giving us anything for the wheat we bring him, and then cutting our purses when we need to buy grain. It's about farmers going hungry while some bastard gets rich off their crops. That's what it's fucking about. Now shove off. Trumbull says you've been threatening his family. Maybe I could go and talk to him for you. What are you doing in here then? What if I buy you all around? Will you talk to me then? Yeah. Swinny considers it briefly. He looks at the others. Fair enough. You bring us something to wet our throats, and maybe I'll feel up to trading words. So let's go to the bar and see if we can't purchase some booze for them. Because I think that's what we're going to have to do, is sort of be a bit friendly. Hello. I'd like to bow around for the fine fellows over there. Fine fellows? You're having me on. Any more frightening, I'll have to ban Svenja from the inn entirely. Until then, it's 6 copper pieces for the lot. So here you go. Ah, please, if I could just get them talking, I might be able to convince them to stop harassing the miller. The innkeeper studies you warily for a moment and sighs. Well, if that's right then, here, 3 drinks for the 3 fools. You get them off Trumbull's back and maybe he'll be less stingy with his supplies. Okay, that was good. We saved some money. Back we go.
Welcome.
See you again. What do you want? I bought you drinks. Hey, so you have. By the flame, I never thought I'd be so happy for the mug of the Black Hound's shit beer. Gods, that's good. Alright then, you've got my attention. What is it you've got to say that's worth a round of drinks? Look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. You have him up against a wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. So either maybe you can tell me more about what's going on. Let's try that one. So like I said, the miller's in charge of the grain prices. He says they're fair, but I know for a fact that folks like Arufa pay half of what we do. The dwarf sighs. And maybe we've been a bit rough with him. But what are we supposed to do? We can't keep paying where we're going to starve. And do you think Trumbull's going to be sorry about that when we do? Right, okay, so look, there's no sense in threatening the miller. You have him up against a wall. Maybe you could ask some of the other villagers for help. Let's try that. Swinny eyes you for long moments, drinking deep from the mug. Then he says, you're right. Things go on like they are. We're just going to end up hanging from that tree out there. He looks to his comrades. Tell Trumbull we'll leave him be. Party gained 8 experience. Don't know what we'll do now. The crop's failing. Haven't got another trade to speak of. Think Pascal needs a hand round the inn. Okay, so hopefully we've resolved that. They're not going to kill anyone. Let's have a quick check with Pascal and see if she has got any jobs.
Greetings.
No. Okay. We will come back in a second. Let's go and tell the miller the good news that he's not going to get beaten up anymore. But I wonder if I can also persuade him to lower the prices a little bit. Make everybody happy. Up we go. Come across town. Experience. Where's your experience? Doesn't say on there, does it? Here they come. Who's that? Just a villager. In we go. Let's have a look and see what he says.
Certainly.
Hail, traveler.
Trumbull nods curt in greeting. You're back. Have you had any luck with Svenja? I spoke to him. And what did he say? I've convinced him to leave your family in peace. Why, that's great news. I wasn't sure you'd get through to him. They're out of their minds with drink half the time. So we gain that and we gain that. So total quest, we gain that. I owe you a great debt. Here, he pulls a coin burst from his hip and pushes it towards you. Today's earnings to show my appreciation. And you can be sure I'll let everyone know what you've done for me. So, glad you could help. Keep it. You're having a hard enough time. I'm going to be nice. Benevolent. I don't need the money. You're a generous soul, friend, and we'll have to thank for making it through the coming year. Safe travels and may you find favour with the gods. Again, you've got to build that reputation. We've got to get that benevolence up so that we're able to use our spells for free. Trumbull, thank you again. Just talk to him normally. Chance to turn things around. Brilliant.
Sharp eyes and keen ears.
Nothing hidden around here anyway, I don't think. Out we go. Good. Hopefully, because as I say, if we can build our reputation with our god, we start having free spells, and that's really good news. So I think we need to go back to the inn and sleep through the night. We've then got the Blackhammer Smithery and the road south to do. I want to have a look at that temple as well, because there is a stairway down. Now we haven't got a quest to explore it or go inside it, but it might be worth having a little rummage around, because it might just be a room down there which has got like some skeletons or something in it or whatever, but there could be like some old godlike relics and stuff for us, which would be really good. Worth a check. Just the villager. What's that? Windows are clouded with a haze of accumulated smoke and cooking grease. Ugh. In we go. We might as well sleep. We'll get full spells then, because if there is anything in the cellar, at least... Oh, that's clever how that's changed, because it's night time outside. That's clever.
Hello.
Hello. I'd like a room, please. Certainly, always welcome. I'm just going to use the common room. Common room, rest. Yeah. Good sleep till morning. Hopefully that rain will go away. So, we're on the edge of dawn. 8 hours have passed. Let's go and have a look at the blacksmith place. We've now got full spells. And then maybe we'll have a brief look at... Oh, it's still raining. God, it's done nothing but rain. Let's get a map. Because he might have some good stuff, actually, like a flail. Now, apparently, my god weapon is a flail or a morning star, so I might have to change, because I don't know whether I get bonuses for having a flail or a morning star. I do not know. Character. How do you find out? Personals here. Damage taken. Most powerful was a bandit party. I don't see where I can find out how I'm doing in terms of my sort of alignment with my god, and I can't see it anywhere. It doesn't seem to be listed there, so maybe you can't see. Perhaps it's like just sort of happens, and you get a message that says it happened. Just a sign. Let's have a look at the blacksmith and see if they've got what they've got. We've got some stuff to sell anyway, so we may as well sell that too. Empty the bags ready for when we go downstairs in the temple. Take it you're the dude. What's that? Tue Tenua. It's a great name. The Senua man is of oppressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is dusky blue of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscles. Small ears frame a square-jawed face coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. Ugh. He offers you a broad smile as you approach. Welcome! You're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? What do you have here? You come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. The stock's not what it used to be, but we've fine weapons and armour to offer yet, all forged here at the Black Hammer. What happened? We just don't have the supplies. Been expecting the next delivery on near on a week now and haven't seen a sign of it. Have to expect that they're hit by bandits. The road out east is crawling with them. All my workers ran off with the wagon themselves maybe to make some coin. Tatuno snorts, as if that lot would dare. He's right about the bandits. Dire situations in villages like this, and the exodus to the cities has created far too many opportunities for unscrupulous sorts. Tatuna scratches his jaw, thinking, if you happen to be headed that way, maybe you could keep an eye out for a supply wagon, or my shipment at least. They'd be cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Only good road for it. Okay. As it is, most of our weapons go to His Grace, Lord Radric. Tatuno glances at the nearby guard, and that's as it should be, but it doesn't leave much for outsiders. We just don't have the iron. I'll find your supplies. Then you have my thanks. You bring back the supplies and I'll have plenty more to offer you. A discount to start. Oh, and if you find my workers, tell them to hurry it up or they can take up farming instead. Well, I still want to see what you've got, though. You must have something to sell. I'd like to see your wares, please. Of course. Let's have a look at what you got. He's got a lance, stiletto. He's got camping supplies. Now, I've got 4 camping supplies, so that's full. Great sort of morning star. Now, that's the thing. It's two-handed, slow, 1623 crush, which is the same as the quarterstaff. So I'm going to buy that and I'm going to trade that. Let's go to character. Where's my character? Hold on, let's come out of there. Let's go to here. So I'm going to put that morning star in here. And we can sell that quarterstaff.
Good day, stranger.
I want to see your wares, please. Thank you. Right, so we've got the torch, we've got the hammer. We can sell that, sell that. There's a lockpicks, we're going to keep that. Sell that. Grain and beer. We'll keep that for now. Bear hide. Crossbow. Book, don't need that either. And trade. Let's have another look down. Buckler, small shield. There's a breastplate, 300. Now obviously I've got equipped, haven't I? So what have I got equipped? DR6. The scale armor, mail armor. Oh, he's got rings and all sorts. Horn figurine. What does that do? Don't know. Rope and grappling hook. Ah, do you remember we've talked about going up? I'm gonna get that. These look like they're quest items, you know. So I'm gonna trade them. We'll get them. Because you remember that wall up north where there was that wall where we weren't sure whether we'd be able to scale up at. We could go and have a look at that. Excellent. I like that. That's good news. I feel like I want to do that now because that sort of finishes off that whole area then, doesn't it? Let's go north. Where's it? Over there, north.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Okay, well they got to get over here. Run quicker, guys. I really want to go and have a look at that. We've got all the magic. We've got more people now as well, so we should be okay against bandits. Oh, I love this game. So in depth. Keep looking for things as we come through here as well. Yeah, nothing around. We want to go to the Bellwood, accept. So, it was over on the right-hand side, wasn't it, at the bottom? Let's go and have a look and see whether we can climb up there with this grappling hook. There was a body at the top, if I remember properly. Over this way. It's over here somewhere. Wasn't it? There's no wolves here. We did kill the wolves. Yeah.
To whispers and shadows.
Ah. Oh my goodness. Minor ring of protection, jasper, amethyst, and agate. So let's take all of that. We don't need to be crouching. Let's go to me again. Oops. What did I do there? That's all I wanted. And I can put the other ring on the other finger. That's really going to help me. Right. We can use a grappling hook on the wall. You give the grappling hook a few swings for momentum and let fly, and the hook lodges easily behind the stones at the upper edge of the wall. A few tugs on the rope suggest you'll stay put. Climb to the top. With the help of the rope, you make your way up to the fence and over the side. So there's some blood moss there. There's... what's that before we do all the body? That's in Grind's Horn. Here we go then. Scrawled letter. Scrawled letter. I do not think you will ever see this, but you were right. For Vano, we should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I have put myself out of reach of the beast circling below, but I am done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I should be a trapper of wolves. Yes, because there were the wolves down there, weren't there? Fulvano's gloves. So this is +5 reflex. Though never famed as he would claim, the Villain explorer Fulvano was known as an eccentric who wished to see the world. Where possible, he travelled by foot to gain locals' appreciation for the sights, sounds and smells of the lands he passed through. In practice, however, Fulvano often claimed that his explorations proved only that the world outside the Villain republics was a foul, smelly place that paled in comparison to his homeland. These gloves are said to have belonged to Fulvano, who often found himself in need of some protection as he climbed harsh terrain or manoeuvred through forests. Whilst thick enough to provide some warmth, they are meant first and foremost to be flexible enough not to hinder delicate tasks. Ah, you've got leather armour, and we've got camping supplies. Let's take all of that. Oh, can I not keep that then? Can I not put it in the stash? I cannot, but we know there's one there. So these gloves, they're +5 reflex. Now what's reflex do for us? If memory serves. We don't have any gloves on, so we may as well wear them. Probably may not be giving this to the right character, but it's difficult to know. Let's do a quick little...
I shall be discreet.
Oops, not that one. Let's have a little... No, don't do that. Oh, stop it. Can we go any further this way? Is there anything up here? No. Anything down the brick path? No, just here. So we can climb down. On this we go, the glade and pick up... so you swing yourself over the side and pick your way down to ground level. Fabulous. Do we still keep the rope and grappling hook then? Or is that gone? No, that goes. So you only get that once. Fair enough. So, let's go back into town then. Or we could go and have a look for those supplies that were out east, couldn't we? We'd have to go via Guild of Val anyway. Except... Ah, that was well remembered. I'm glad about that. It's good to get good stuff. It's getting dark already again. Road east is this way. Now, do I want to go out there in the middle of pitch black? Is that a good idea? Probably not. We don't have to pay to sleep in the inn anyway. So we'll do that, I think. Get them to run across over here. Journal. So we've got Fragments of Faith, the Smith's Shipment. So that's Black Meadow. Journal, biography. Oh wow, so that gives you a whole list of everything you did before. That's quite good. Visions. You've seen visions of another time and place. Grand chamber towards machine. Oh, excellent. Nothing in the notes. Okay, so that's rather useful. Stronghold. Options. Character. Favoured dispositions, benevolent and honest, disfavoured, cruel and deceptive. Party reputations. Oh, we're a hero. Moderately good. We're a hero. Moderately good. Elapsed time. Most powerful enemy. Higher single. Most crits is Aloth. Most hits is me. Most damage is me as well. So it doesn't tell us about our god alignment, but we are seen as a hero in this town, which is nice. In we go. We'll sleep off quickly, and then we can look at heading east, I think. Because ultimately we don't want to go over there in the darkness, because it's bad enough as it is.
Hello.
Like a room, please. Thank you. Common room, on its own. Rest. Have to pay. Had no more dreams or visions whilst we're sleeping, which is a good thing. Off we go. Let's go east. Eight hours have passed. I wonder what we do with all them ingredients we're getting there. There must be a crafting thing, mustn't there? Yeah, there is a crafting thing. So we've got food. Duck's own breed. Oh, I see. So we can actually make food on the road as well. Chicken. Do I need... It doesn't say that I need, like, a fire pit or anything. We can make a savoury pie. That's with meat, beer, and grain. Then we've got potions. Potions of Wizard Double. We've got potions, scrolls. Oh, look! My goodness, how do I know all these? How do I know all these recipes? Prayer against fear. That's rather good. Carry on. Hurry it up. We're going to see if we can find the armourer's supplies. It'd be good if we get a discount as well, because we won't be able to afford some more armour. I need to look at the armour situation. And we haven't used Ada in combat yet. That's just a villager. Let's go east. This is the eastern wood. So this isn't the Black Meadow is where we've got to go. So this isn't the Black Meadow. So this is east to Radrick's Hold, west to Gilded Vale. What's that? Yeah, there's something written on that tree, look. Warding symbols as red and rough as scabs have been carved into some of the trees. Oh yeah. Stay on the road, I think is probably what they're saying. Don't deviate. We will go and grab that because it's right by here. Stay on the road unless there's something worth picking up, and then we'll have to make a decision. We need to get to Black Meadow. I wonder how far away the Black Meadow is. Stay on the road. It's still raining. It's rained for the last... Uh-oh. This looks dangerous. He's on his own, though.
Hello.
Ah, Kolsk! Hold, sir, but a moment. A hooded man waits upon the road. Clad in green cloak, he strides forward to meet you as you approach, and at closer distance his features are revealed for those of a younger man, though lined with weariness. He appears to be favouring his left leg as he walks, and there's a dark stain upon the fabric of his trousers under the knee. Ugh. Even so, he greets you with a polite bow. I do not know your purpose in travelling this road, friend, but I would warn you against it. He gestures up the path with a sweep of his arm. For the keep beyond belongs to that tyrant which calls himself Lord of Gilded Vale. Like many tyrants, he has surrounded himself with stronger men and women for fear of retribution. The man smiles thinly. And so you are warned. If you would press on despite that, however, I wonder if we might not help one another. What is it you'd want me to do? The man nods, standing a little straighter. It's a grim task that I ask you, but I assure you there's no other option. Lord Radrick must be stopped. Too long has Gilded Vale suffered under Radrick's madness. He would cure Waidwen's legacy by ensuring there's none left alive in the village to be afflicted. I fear his own wife, Ygritte, may be at risk. The man has no mercy in him. We have not stood idle. My people and I breached the defences, intent on ending Radrick's rule ourselves. We entered through the sewers under the cover of night, but we were routed. His face darkens. There are dark creatures down there in the dungeons, the work of Radrick's Animancer. It falls to you. Lord Radrick has called for further reinforcements, and soon there will be no stopping him. Our time grows short, and in this hour I must beg assistance where I can. He's going to harvest more than rubble-strewn plot of land after this. Fling him from the ramparts, or else cut his head from his shoulders, I care not. Once his throne lies empty, Gilded Vale will have the stewardship that it deserves. Who are you? Only a man determined to see Gilded Vale restored to its former glory. There was a time, stranger, when Gilded Vale was worthy of its name. The crops gleamed like gold, and the villagers' people lived well. I don't know about the golden crops, but there were less flies anyway. And what has become of it now? Whatever has caused the blight upon our lands, it is not the fault of its people. Radrick looks to punish us for crimes we have not committed, and in turn he is blind to his own. I am not, and he will pay for what he has done. I swear it by the flame. Well, we're not an aristocrat. I think, well, I don't like Radrick because he's already, obviously, he's clearly killing people, which is just not a good thing. So let's say we'll get involved. Then I commend you on your courage and thank you for your assistance, but I would not send you onward without due warning. Radrick's hold is crawling with soldiers and sellswords, all Lord Radrick. They will not take kindly to intruders. In truth, they will be all the more alert for our failed efforts. A frontal assault would be unwise. If you would brave it, you could follow our steps and seek out the entrance to the sewers at the eastern edge of the moat. He looks away. but several of my men were captured. It may be the entrance has been found and sealed anew. Those men were under my command. I would be in your debt if you found some means of helping them. Once you make it inside, seek out my old friend Nedmar. He is High Priest Berathan. Now that shining god has fallen, a good man, in difficult circumstances, he will listen to reason. Nedmar can help you reach Radric, but he resides in the upper levels of Radric's hold, protected by guards and mercenaries. You will have to keep to the shadows if you mean to reach him without alarming the entire keep. Thank you for the advice. I will make good use of it. Very well, I'm off. Thank you. I consider it a blessing from the gods that I have found someone that understands honour and duty. May Magrin bring you victory, friend. I wish you luck. And off he goes. So, we've got another quest. Goodness gracious. Ah, here's the path anyway. Easternward, we've got Radric's Hold. I am going east though. I thought they said that this was where the black what do they call it? Was it Black Meadow? Let's have a look at the quest. Smiths. Tantu Gildersmith has been expecting a shipment of supplies for a long time. He's worried that something has befallen the wagon and was travelling along the eastern road towards Gilded Vow. Travel to the Black Meadow. Tantu is seeking the Black Meadow. Southeast of Gilded Vale. So we've gone east. Do I have to go south? I'm a bit wary about going with all those painted symbols. We're bound to come into contact with something that's going to be bad for us. What the heck is that? Is that a wicked? A white wicked? I don't know. Looks bad. So we know we're going to kill it, so... Dum dum dum. Divine Terror. Okay, well let's go with you. I want you to... Hold on, before you start all your jobbiness. You can knock over. And you can knock over. And you can... I sort of want to stay put. What's that? Projection. Divine Mark. Well, I don't know how strong this thing is. So I think I'm just going to go in and hit it. Go. Oh, there's lots of them. Oh, that was killed really quickly. Okay, so you need to knock over that one. Dwarf, I need you to knock over that one. I'm going to have to attack, I think. I'm going to do my... Oh no, I'm going to do my... one of those. And I need you, Aloth, to hit that one. Go. Wow, they went over quick. So, why am I facing the wrong way? Why am I facing the wrong way? Because if this is undead, then surely it shouldn't be a problem. And that can go there. Well, actually, I think I just want you to attack that one. Ah, yeah, they were undead. Look, because they burnt. They got burnt in the old heat. Is there anything off them? No. Are we frozen? Skein bone.
Yes.
What's wrong with him? Why is he wobbling?
Yes.
You back up? Fighting fit? That's what that was all about. So these are undead. There's a way south here. Should I take that? Yes! Black Meadow. But I think we're almost at the end of the episode, aren't we? Because we're at 58 minutes or so. So I think we're probably about there. Good place to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. Any comments, suggestions, whatever, put them in the comments as well. I am on Votable, I'm on player.me, I'm also on Twitter, I've got loads of other stuff on the channel. If you're thinking about subscribing, please hit that button, as it'd be great to have you along for the ride. But until next Saturday, when we have some more Pillars of Eternity, you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.